on clemtravlog, I share one of my Zwift races with you. This time I have asked one of my cycling mates, Hugo, who has far more Zwift racing experience and is currently part of a Zwift racing team, to analyze and comment on my race. I am eager to learn from his insight and improve my performance. Let's see what he thinks.
You don't need much of a warm-up, although it is ideal. Okay, right off the bat, you've gone too hard. You should not be going that hard. If anything, you should be sitting right behind the pack. Let them push as hard as they can, and don't get ahead, because you will burn out. Alright, so you're going okay now. Just sitting just behind, letting them do the work. But try not to get ahead. Sit behind all of them. That guy takes off. Just bring up the speed a little bit, because you know the pack's going to move as well. See, right now, you've just dropped up behind. That is not good. You've got one guy ahead of you. Okay, now you've just caught up. Okay. But you want to try... You want to try not to push too hard. Just stay in the draft. See that where it says close the gap? And now it's at 4, 5, 6 meters. You're falling behind. And there's a climb now, so you want to be nice and close. And there's the climb, and you're doing okay. Okay, but you're not pushing through, and you've just let them go. Alright. Yeah, so you just got dropped there. Best thing to do is just chill, maintain the pace. There's a group coming right behind you. Just continue your pace. Don't drop off too much and catch up to them. As they approach, you need to raise your watts. Otherwise they disappear like they just did. But yeah, okay, it's going to be hard for you to catch up now going downhill, and they've got themselves to draft with one another. But there is another group coming up behind you, so maintain what you're riding. Not overexerting yourself. So like right now, you're kind of close to 200, which is pretty much your higher end of watts. So just chill a little bit more. Yeah, what you're doing now is great. Sitting behind that rider. But if he gets away, no stress, because it's just one rider. The guys behind you, the group behind you is better. Alright. Okay, he's getting away, and you're not really trying to hold his wheel. You should try and at least hold his wheel. But it's no stress, it's okay. There's a group come behind you, so you cannot let them go. So now you raise up your power and you hold with them. And you know that there's a hill coming, so get ready for it. And I don't think you even... Oh wait, you did, yep. Pushing a little bit harder than normal. You have to keep that follow through, otherwise they get away like they just did. You gotta hold your power even now, because they usually relax after a little hill climb, especially if they're ahead. I wouldn't try and stick with that one rider, just try and catch up to the other guys. You're getting somewhere. Well, he's doing what he's supposed to do, draft behind you. You know, he's tired too. So right now you're being the lead out man, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a training ride at the end of the day. You're not really gonna finish in the top 10 or anything. That's fine, you can take turns, yeah. But at this point, it looks like the group behind you might be doing a little bit more better watts, and they're only like 4 seconds just behind you. Well done on your fastest lap. So yeah, just stay on his wheel just for now. Your heart rate's still kind of on the higher side. If you have a little bit of energy, sure, you can give it a go, but I wouldn't, because there's just a grip just 2 seconds behind you. Okay, there's a hill. Put down more power. Yeah, you're doing it. You're doing it. And yeah, they see an opportunity, they're going to take over. Now you have to push much harder just to get onto their level, which, yep, okay, you've caught onto one of them, but he's dropped off as well. Yeah, see if you can catch up to the other guys, but he's doing about 3 watts a kilo or so every now and again. That's okay. You got, yeah, exactly. You got some riders to draft behind. I would just sit here and just try and stay on their wheel. Try and recover a little. Yeah, try and recover a little. They're using their power-ups. This is a problem that I've noticed with you. You're not using your power-ups. So you got a feather up there and you've got hill climbs and you're not using it on the hill climbs. You get 2 power-ups each round. Sometimes you use it, sometimes you don't. So right now, you don't really need to use your feather, but why not? You're just about to get another power-up under the banner. But yeah, so now you got the feather. Save it for that next hill climb, which is going to happen in about 1 kilometer or so. Okay, yeah, let him get in ahead of you. Just chill a little. And get ready for that climb. And use your feather. And I'd use the feather now. Beautiful. That's exactly what I would do. Hold your pace, hold your pace. Keep holding your pace. Don't back off now. You've started to back off a little. And this is where he can get away. And he's sort of getting away. But you just called it back because he's relaxed as well. But you slingshotted him. That's a classic overtaking move, which is what's been happening to you all race. Again, push hard because this is a little climb and you don't want to be left behind. You got another banner. You're going to get another power up. And you're going to try and use this before the next banner. Okay, so the group's ahead of you, about 10 seconds away. It's a bit far. You just want to kind of hang around this Kennedy guy. But it's good that you're giving it a shot. You're staying ahead. Hitting good power. You're starting to chill now, and so is he, but that's... Anyways, here's a banner, and you could get another power up, but you've just missed the opportunity to use it. Every time you see a little bump, especially on a course like this, just use your power up. Okay, you're sitting on his well. Try and recoup a little bit of energy. There's no point getting ahead of him. Save your overtaking abilities and energy till the end of the race. Right now there's no point because they're about 15 seconds away. Okay, hit your power up, beautiful, and hold your power. Yeah, 300 watts, amazing. Push. Don't back off completely. Keep going. You can chill a little because he's not really making a move. Yeah, he's pretty much the same level as you. Just sitting on your wheel. It looks like you actually want to get away. If you want to get away, what I would suggest is sit on his wheel in an opportune moment, like especially on a hill. That's where you would oh wow, so someone's come up behind you. Yeah, so when you go over a hill, that's when is the time to make a breakaway. because he's going to try and relax. And that's your opportunity to kind of say, hey, I'm not relaxing, I'm actually going to keep pushing. And before he knows it, before he can react, you might be a second or two ahead. And if he is at your level, you're pretty much doing the same power. So you'll stay ahead of him and he'll just be continuously chasing you. Except neither of you get a bit of rest. So it's pretty much a test of who's more fitter. See, now I would use your aero. Yeah, that's fine as well. But you don't really need to push. It's your last lap. Just stay in the wheels now. Save your energy. There's no point of pushing in the last lap. Push only if they push. Don't let them get away. So you're sitting 28th. The best you could do is 26th right now in this little group. So the hill's coming. Get ready to push. Stay with him. Keep pushing. Don't back off. He's still got his aero, his featherweight, so just keep pushing. He's at an advantage. He's getting away because you just backed off too much. Now this guy's done the slingshot move. You need to be ready for that. And just like that, on the rolling hills, you've just lost a little bit of advantage. Push as hard as you can. Get back on their wheels. Just about to get another power up. What could it be? Okay, you got a feather. Okay, well, at this point, he's got ahead of you quite a bit. 4 seconds and 13 seconds, respectively. Let's try and stay ahead of the guy behind you. He's catching up. Just maintain your pace. 2.7, 2.1. All right, 400 meters. I would start. Yeah, beautiful. I'll start putting down the pressure now. Yep, you used your power up. Beautiful. There's no other times. Wow, what a move. He gassed out and you overtook. Well done. That's fantastic. 27th out of 43. Mid-pack. That's fantastic. Well done, Clement. This is very good. So, what do I suggest? So, I think your biggest mistake was right at the start. You took off like a bat out of hell and you shouldn't have. You burnt yourself out. Your heart would have been gasping. Your lungs would have been burning. And it would have been very hard for you to breathe. And unless you do this day in, day out, you're not really used to it and you can get a little bit discouraged. So what I would do always at the start of the race, if they're hitting about 4 watts per kilo out the gate, you want to do about 3. If they're hitting 3, you want to hit around 2, 2.5. Just stay just behind them and just mimic them. The other thing as well is you should kind of know the courses. If you have an idea of what's coming up, you can prepare yourself for it. So let's just say, for example, this crit race here was the Glasgow Crit. There is 2 major hills. There's the one, there's the main Clyde Circuit Reverse. I think I'm not sure what it's called. And you've also got the one right after the drop after the start line. There's that one too. So before any of those climbs, right, unless you know you have the capability of like putting out big watts, you should build up speed before those climbs. Just build up a little bit of speed. So everybody's sitting around, let's just say 2 watts per kilo. Ramp yours up to about 2.5 watts per kilo, maybe about 20 meters or 50 meters before the hill starts. So before the corner starts, ramp it up to about 2.5 watts per kilo. And from there, just hold 2.5 watts per kilo. You'll find yourself towards the middle of the group, towards the front of the group. And then you can kind of decide whether or not you need to add more power or just stay to your power. So you might be doing 2.5 watts per kilo, but they would be probably have to do about 3 watts or 3.5 just to match your speed going up that hill, because you've built that speed and they have not. So if you've got that advantage going up on a hill, you don't have to exert as much energy as they do. That's one tip. If you see someone break away, if it's one person, it's early in the race, doesn't matter. Let them go. Okay. You don't have to chase every breakaway. There's no point. It's just exhausting, and they probably don't know what they're doing either. If it's later in the race, let's just say in the last lap, then probably give them more of a shot. Or if there's a bunch of them, let's just say 3 or 4 people try and get away, follow them. That's actually good enough for a breakaway. If they work together, they can get away and stay away. One person, it's much harder against a pack. What's the other one? Your power-ups, you don't use them. There's been times where you've got the power-up and you don't use it. Understand that you get a power-up under banners. When you know where the banners are and where to expect it, you kind of understand where you should use. Look, it goes back to knowing the map, the map you're doing. If you know the map and you know where the elevations are and the flat parts are and the downhills, you'll know when to use the relevant power up in which instance. For example, if it's above a hill and you're going downhill before there's another banner, you get an arrow, you know to use that arrow on the downhill. If you've got a feather and there's an uphill section, then you wait for that uphill section, then you use your feather. You don't use it on the downhill. You shouldn't be really using it on the flats unless it's the only thing you have towards a sprint. And yeah, just you need to kind of just get a better understanding of what does what, the maps and just race knowledge. I think the more you race, the better you understand of what to do in a race. It does take time, but once you understand, it does become a lot easier. You will realize that you don't have to work as hard as the others to stay with them. And that's just the way I race. I'm more of a sprinter. I can put out quite a bit of power, but I can't sustain it for too long. That's something I need to work on. But it doesn't really get worked on much because sprinting kind of just works for me until there's a hill climb and I'll get left in the dust. But that's just who I am because I'm a little bit of a bigger guy. So unless, I get really skinny and, start weighing a lot less, then I can probably keep up with the skinnier guys going up a hill. But until then, I'm just going to have to stick to being a sprinter. And yeah, so you have to play to your advantage, to your strengths, which is the same thing. You're a little bit of a bigger guy, so on the downhill and on the flats, you have an advantage. So when it comes to uphills, you have to work a little bit harder and you have to be a little bit smarter on where you use your energy. That's pretty much what I would suggest. That's pretty much the best tips I could give you. As you get better, then the tips might change and, the plays might get a little bit different in terms of like slingshotting and, playing with your opponent, like waiting for them to attack. And once they attack and they're just about to finish their attack, you attack and you catch them off guard. Things like that. It does become, a game of, of the mind in this, because most of the time the races that you're racing with are much better than you are. So you just have to know and position yourself in the right position. Yeah. Well, that's my 2 cents. I hope you can get some nuggets out of this little explanation from me. Anyways, till next time. Cheers. Bye.